Hey guys, it's been a while. You know that. I know that. There's good reason for it too, but we're gonna get into that later. Right now, we're just gonna jump right in because I am dying to drive this thing. We're pretty close, but we're still pretty far. We need to finish the cooling system. We already rebuilt the water pump and the water pump housing. Need to asphyxiate that to the block. I've got a new radiator for it. Still need to get radiator hoses. We need to mount our battery in the rear so it's not right here on the dashboard. Need to fixate our switches into the dashboard. There was one thing that I installed not on camera, and it's an oil pressure gauge. We're getting about 60 pounds of pressure out of this big block Mopar, which is pretty good. We need to do our throttle linkage, which is kind of a mess. Need to make sure our shifter is all hooked up and doing what it's supposed to do. Need to put our drive shaft back in. Need to put the exhaust back on. Dang, there's a lot of things still to do. Well, let's just get started. All right, slide this bad boy on here. Maybe, come on. That one's a pain in the neck. Okay, so this is a 160-degree thermostat. That's what was in it before, so that's just what I'm gonna put back in, basically. Stay. All right, standstill moment. Our pulley for the water pump, or maybe the combination of pulleys between the water pump and the crank, not the same. On a car, I know the one on the water pump's smaller than this big one here. They were hitting, not gonna rotate around, no bueno. I was also missing some bolts because the 413 water pump housing used different bolts, and it looked way different anyway. So I'm going to leave that there for now, and I'm going to work on something a little bit different. I'm going to come down here and see about hooking our drive shaft back up. And then I'm going to see if I can get this exhaust to mount up to our new headers, which I don't think is gonna happen. I think our new headers are maybe a couple of inches longer than our old ones, and the mounting is gonna be wrong. Although I might be able to figure something out. But yeah, drive shaft, see about getting the exhaust back on. And technically you can drive a car without a cooling system, just not very long. Maybe long enough for a burnout or to blow up. Probably blow up. That's a very sloppy mount on that. I don't know how they got away with that. I don't know if I'm gonna get away with that. Probably not. Wow. That's not safe. Not that safety has ever stopped me before. Jesus Christ. All right, well, I don't like that at all, but that's the way they had it. Alrighty then. Okay, well, other than it being a complete mess in here with beer cans still down there, here's our shifter, and we've also got these levers down here, and this one is hooked up to what looks like a modified trans kickdown, but I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to do. And this one has like a cable shifter But I don't know if that's actually controlling anything on the transmission. So I would assume park, reverse, neutral, first, second, third, neutral, reverse, park. Okay. Are we even doing anything on the transmission? Or can we even see anything? So this is a standard 727 out of like a B-body Mopar. If you look down here, you have your shifting linkage into each gear, and then you have your trans kickdown right here. Now, one issue, or I don't know if it's necessarily an issue, but one difference in the transmission in this car is our throttle cables, which are running down through here. Obviously, they're in grand shape. Come down and then down around the transmission, and then they mount into this. There we go. Mount into this block in the back of the transmission. I am not familiar with that. I don't know how that works. There's the trans kickdown up here. You can see that, but not the other shifting linkage. So I don't know how that works, but I've got our drive shaft mounted up all the way back with our sketchy U-joint back there. So I'm gonna climb back up there. We're gonna fire this up. Even though we don't have any brakes, I'm going to play around with our shifter and see if we can get to the wheels to spin at all. Because we might as well. All right, gasoline, no cooling system. Still haven't routed our battery. Got our oil pressure gauge that should be in there somewhere, but whatever. Flip our power to our coil on. Stick our positive battery terminal on. Grind some gears on the starter. Well, the shifter's hooked up. I guess I'll work on something else next. So there is absolutely no way this is gonna work and be this easy. But our master cylinder is under this panel here, which I had to unbolt over here and rotate it over there. It was kind of a pain in the neck. But it actually looks fairly decent on the inside. I topped off fluid in the front point, and there wasn't much fluid in the back, but I'm gonna send it. All right, well, our previous exhaust isn't gonna work. One, because the difference in angle there. The other reason is our mounting point, our bolt is right here, and because these headers are longer, the little eyelet is way back there. So that's gonna take some modification. I don't have time to do it here right now, so we're just gonna run open headers. It is not beautiful, but it works. So our throttle linkage here, we had this rod that attaches to the gas pedal. I had this piece of metal sitting over on a shelf, attached to springs to our carburetor linkage here. And then So that works really well. The pedal, I also noticed, has not only where you can push on it, but you can also pull back on it just in case it sticks. That's pretty nice. The brake pedal, it's glorious. It does have some pressure after adding the fluid. I don't know if that's gonna work. All right, so I got our wires ran down through the firewall, through that giant hole, down to here. I did end up getting our starter switch plugged in here. It popped right into that hole. It was amazing. I don't know how that happened, how I got that lucky. And then let's hook our battery up here without getting shocked, preferably. Gosh dang it. Why am I so short? Ugh. I gotta climb into the darn thing. Oh yeah, this side of the car is not designed for people over 3 feet tall. Okay, so our battery is hooked in. It is not strapped down with anything, but that's not my concern at the moment. Dang, what a good view, except for the trash cans. Oh, here's our oil pressure gauge. That should be routed some way where it makes sense, but I'm not gonna do that for the time being. I might just zip tie it right there. Yeah, maybe just zip tie it right there. Ha! There, zip tied up. Stay right there. And here's our wonderful fuel system. We've got this big old jerry can here. Nice rubber line coming out of it. Tighten that up a little bit more. That's wound down there pretty good. Let's go into our mechanical fuel pump, floating up to our carburetors, and the whole thing with the throttle linkage, spark plugs, wires, everything. We have absolutely no cooling system. All right. Well, it's time to see if this thing will do anything. I've got it on the ground. I'm going to fire it up and see what it does. Gears, and that's burning off a lot of crap that's been cooked up in it for a while.
And you spilled some kind of shit in front there.
Oh, cool. That is my transmission fluid, because the trans-cooler lines are running to right here. And I didn't link them. So that puked out everywhere. I should probably link those lines before doing anything else. But yeah, the ultimate goal here is to get it out there in short spurts and see if it'll do a burnout. It was low on ATF, put a little more of that in, looped our trans-cooler lines together, that way they're cycling back to itself. Done with that. And we had a whole bunch of smoke, and that was because apparently I didn't even tighten down the valve covers. So they were coming right out onto the headers. Brakes did work. I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, let's try it again, see if we can get it to do anything. Like Bo and Luke Duke climbing in the doors. My 69 Chad just. All right. Got to drive it. It wasn't far or anything glorious, but I got to drive it, so there's something. Let that cool down because we still don't have a cooling system, and I need to figure something out because I'm just kind of flopping around in there, but I would like to see if I can get the tires to spin. Those are big meats. I don't know if you looked at the wheels on this thing, but holy cow, they're like that wide. They're wider than a big girl's bosom. Man, that looks good. God, I need to get a couple photos like this. Yeah. I don't have a hood to slide across yet. There we go. Uh-oh. Neutral. Oh, I kicked a wire. Reach. There we go. Random block of wood. Did it spin the tire?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Not really good.
It spun for like maybe 2 rotations.
It was so freaking loud in there. I can hear my head ringing. Yeah, like not an ear ringing, not like a T3 knee. It's like my whole head. Yeah, that was great. Ow. All right, well, here it is. I'm just gonna lay it out there. This video took forever to come out. You know it, I know it. The reason being is we've spent the last month down in Arizona and cleaning the house and getting rid of things because my fiance has accepted a job position down in Prescott, Arizona. She got the opportunity to use a degree that she worked very hard to get. And in order for her to have that job, we will be relocating. That being said, this car is going to go into storage for a little while. Actually, my grandma wants to store it in her garage. She all but begged me to store it there. So this is going to be in storage for a little while. I really want to put more time into this right now. I just can't. Obviously, I just threw it together today, what I had. Not everything I had worked out. I needed a different pulley for the water pump, and that kind of threw a wrench into actually getting the cooling system done on it. All of that will happen at some point, just probably not anytime soon. I will continue Broken Gear down in Arizona. Unfortunately, that means saying goodbye to a lot of things up here, including my co-host, Carson. I just want to take a moment to go back and reflect on all the videos and times and all the enjoyment that's brought Broken Gear to where it is here. And a lot of our project cars have actually already sold. So we're going to say goodbye to some of those project cars as well.
Not my car. Unburnt fuel. Whatever. Yeah. Looks good. That's professional. Installed.
Carson doesn't know this yet, but he just inherited a banana. Yeah, apparently, because that's a main road right over there, this thing's become a icon here in the local community. So enjoy your banana, Carson. Now, for future reference on the vehicles that Broken Gear is keeping, obviously we're keeping the Charger. Obviously we're keeping the Ruster, which maybe that's not that obvious because that car's a piece of junk, but I love it so much that I just can't get myself to get rid of it. We're keeping the Fart. That was in an episode way back. It's a 72 Dodge Dart. It's basically my rat rod that's always broken. I'm keeping the yellow 71 GTX, which I actually don't think that's been in an episode yet, but it's, I've had a million people ask me about it. So I'm keeping that car, and I'm also keeping a Mustang. Yes. All Mopar and then one Mustang. There's a reason for that. You're going to see that car probably before we end up leaving because I've got it stored here in Fort Wayne and it has to move. And I have an obligation still on that one. So be on the lookout for that video to come out. I'm going to hope that's out here in 2 or 3 weeks. Well, by the time this video gets out, it probably will be 2 or 3 weeks. So that's it. Thank you everybody for the support. We've got a big move ahead of us. You might notice that the garage is a lot more empty than what it normally is. This is not goodbye. I have big plans for Broken Gear and for this car. I plan on getting this car to the point where you're going to see it at events. I really wanted to get it to Cletus and Cars down here in Indy. Unfortunately, I had a lot of things that I needed to do that week, and that wasn't going to happen. There's a chance that this car might make it out to the duct tape drags down in Tucson, since we're going to live in Arizona. Depending on how our ducks land, there's a chance that this car might be there. The Ruster apparently decided that it doesn't want to run, but I'd like to get that car down there as well. We'll see. It's all up in the air. Still around, absolutely. And yeah, we'll have more stuff to you when we can. Thank you, guys. Oh, I need a role model.